All right, everybody, hello and welcome. It is Thursday, July 2nd, 2026, and you are here for how to use AI to turbocharge your personal brand in 2026. My name is Albert. I'm the founder of Albert's List. We're a job search, side hustle, and AI organization helping you become the most resilient professional possible. And so, as we get through this one, I'm just going to say, welcome and thank you so much for spending your time with us this afternoon, this evening, this morning, wherever you may be on this wonderful planet. This webinar is being recorded. I also have the chat open as well as the Q&A. So any inquiries that come through, I'm going to go ahead and try and answer to the best of my ability. I also am recording this webinar, so it'll be available on our YouTube channel afterwards for your recording. And we'll also have a bunch of things that were given away and also opportunities for you to understand about later today. Thank you, Steve, for the very kind words. All right, so who am I? I know some of you are meeting me for the very first time. My name is Albert. I'm a San Francisco Bay Area born and raised job search entrepreneur and also a product marketing manager by my day for my day job. I am not a coder. I'm a marketer who just happens to be experimenting and dabbling probably with more AI than I probably care to. But we're here and that's where the world is and that's where I am. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. The QR code is there. And since I don't have my presentation fully up and open here, I'm just going to go ahead and drop the LinkedIn there as well. And I'm also the founder of Albert's List. We're a job search community of 50,700 people on Facebook, where you can connect with many other individuals as well, and you can also connect with many other individuals here on LinkedIn too. Not LinkedIn, here in our webinars that we do have on an ongoing basis. And so it's always a good opportunity to say hi. If you haven't had the chance to do so, drop your LinkedIn profile. Let us know where you're dialing in from. Make the most of this hour, right? Because we only have so much time, and time is nature's most precious commodity. So make sure you can connect with others if you haven't already. Some of you folks have dropped LinkedIn profiles. Get on the phone with them, talk to them, and say hello. We also have our poll here. How do you feel about your AI skills? Novice, somewhat experienced, experienced, and expert. 15% of you haven't touched AI yet. 67% of you have touched, had know a thing or two, and then 19% of you have built a thing or two. And so we're going to talk a little bit about building some things today. And those are definitely going to be part of today's conversation. Uh, but the thing I want to talk about today is personal branding as well. All of you probably know what personal branding is to some degree. This is something that I think that people have really knocked into people's heads over the last 15 to 20 years as social media has become more prevalent in our world, and social media is primarily the way to get the message out there. And personal branding really came about during the last really, really big economic downturn that we had during that 2008 recession, right? You heard a lot of people saying that social media had come into vogue, and you also heard that jobs were really, really hard to come by. And so it became this thing where people used it to tell their stories, to share what they thought about the world and certain topics. And by then, it was the whole notion of your thought leadership will help you land your very next job. And we have very similar things that are going on today in today's job market. I think for those of you who have been hunting for work for a while, it's quite evident what the market looks like at this juncture, right? You have 250 applicants per job posting. Your job hunt is probably more than 6 months at this point, and it feels like putting your resume into an applicant tracking system is like playing Russian roulette, where it's being evaluated by AI, and maybe you wrote your resume with AI too. And so as it looks to be, right, your personal brand has become leveraged because you can go to the events like this, you can talk to people, you can meet people. Hopefully you connect with each other on LinkedIn. I haven't seen anybody share their LinkedIn profile yet. I encourage you to do so. And really get to know folks because you never know who is in this room with you. I know there's some really cool designers. I know there's some really cool engineers that focus on climate tech in this room. And so, I encourage you to connect with them. These are interesting people who do interesting things. And so, what do we have now today in today's market, right? the unfortunate thing about today's job market and today's economy is that the attention economy is now your competition. We live in a world where not only have people figured out how to put together AI technology that helps keep them front and center and always, they've learned how to do it at scale, they learned how to do it meaningfully, and they also want to know that as people look for you or as people look you up on, ChatGPT or Claude or any of these different places, um, it makes it all the more interesting that you somehow show up and the content that you have shows up as well. Ron, thank you so much for sharing your email and telling people that you know people inside of Figure and Woven in the San Francisco Bay Area. That's very generous of you, right? And if all of you actually put that in the webinar chat that you know people who work at these companies, then it's actually going to be pretty amazing. So when it comes to your personal brand, 15 years ago, we were talking about whether you should put your drinking photos from college onto Facebook. Would say that in today's modern job market, what it's ended up happening is whether you even exist on social media at all in the first place, because what they find or don't even see could work against you because there's not that level of, I would say, trust. And so at the end of the day, it's not about who you know or what you know, it's who knows you. And so personal branding these days is showing up consistently online. It's allowing strangers to learn who you are and allowing opportunities to find you first. And so that means creating content. It means building content at some certain level and using the various different ways to get there and being able to do it at scale, which AI will let you do. And I'm going to get to that in a little bit here. So, what happened with personal branding, right? For those unfortunately in the know or not in the know, I think, AI has obviously changed a lot of what's happened, right? It's become this strange cheat code where people can literally put something into a system and then that system can output a bunch of different things. I know that I'll hop on LinkedIn and there are people that I know who seem to have thoughts every single day. Meanwhile, I can't even think about what I'm having for lunch, but somebody is seemingly in constantly deep thought. It's somebody who is constantly creating, and it's like, how do you have time to do any of these things? And it's kind of crazy and silly in its own way, but they're doing it in a way that that still works for them and makes them very, very authentic. And so AI has become the cheat code for a lot of folks. And today, in part of this webinar, I want to show you how that cheat code works. And I want to show you some of the free tools that you have as well as, an opportunity at the end. If you'd like to understand what some of these free opportunities are or how AI is doing this and changing this in general, type yes in the webinar chat so I know that this topic is exciting to you. And so, before I go into that, I want to also talk about how these things really have changed, right? So, in order to understand what the new way has become, I think it's always important to understand what the old way was. Um, the old way was this, right? You write content from scratch every single week. You spend hours upon hours in creating content. Maybe you don't even feel comfortable in front of a camera, but then, you have somebody who's in front of the camera all day and they're on TikTok and they're saying, "Hey, my name is Albert. Follow me for more," right? And I'm getting used to that too because I think it's also kind of silly, but I've started to do that a little bit more. And what ends up happening along the way is that they don't have any time to. People who are using the old way have no time to connect. Then there's burnout, and then there's silence. In the new way, it's using existing data, understanding your patterns and your writing style, using your consistent voice, and freeing up time to promote and connect with other people. And you save 50% of the time from that or more. I know that I certainly do with a lot of the content that I've built that's helped me save, more than I would say 10 to 15 hours a week, where I literally just read scripts or I literally just type in my thoughts and bullet points and things come out. And so when it comes to the AI mentality and the AI powered way, it's all about using all the existing content that you have. I presume that all of you are experienced professionals with, 5 to 10, 15 years of experience in the work that you do. And so what that means is that you've built up a book of expertise over the last decade, decade and a half plus with of your experience of the philosophy of how you think through things. And because LLMs and AI thrive on what I'd like to think about as predictable information, you providing that level of predictable information is going to help you scale and scale the information that you have to share. And so, what you're going to end up doing instead of taking 3 hours to do one thing, you're going to be able to do those three things that may help you build your brand in 1 hour. And so personal brand is now what we discuss as infrastructure, not necessarily vanity. And if you've been to any of our past webinars, you know that personal brand sits in that third row of what we like to call the hiring hierarchy. The hiring hierarchy is an Albert's List philosophy that really highlights what is necessary in today's job search and what is necessary to be noticed by those who are interested in learning more from you, right? So at the very foundation, all of you now qualify for being here because you have the hunger, attitude, hustle, resilience, and commitment to the career that you want to have. You're hungry for change. You have the right attitude. You're here hustling on a Thursday before the July 4th holiday, and you're here committed, right? And so now we can take you to the next level because you have a resume already. You might be networking already out there too. You may be building your skills and you may be improving your interviewing through any types of modalities that you may have. But what's missing, and you're here today because of that, is your personal brand and what people know you for, but not just that, the insights that you have to share within this advanced job market and this changing job market as well. And so, what does that look like, right? I think that we here at Albert's List, both me personally and others, have experienced what using AI has helped for our careers. We did a we we're now doing AI agent webinars where you can learn how to build a agent that will job search on your behalf and bring you opportunities because we know that it takes way too much time now to look through 15 different job boards to find the job that works for you. We had a student who came and they were curious and skeptical about what it meant to actually build one of these agents, but they built an agent during that session, and that agent was able to land a role, right? It helped them accelerate time to finish. I've also created my own personal branding agent, and I wanted to do that because I wanted to understand what that agent was. And that's what I call a thought leadership agent. And then I'm going to actually share this, and I'm going to share with you the repo. I've made it public because I want you all to have it for free today. Um, and what it does is it allows you to pick articles that get sent to you and curated based on what it is your background and professional background is. And it lets you read articles and then offer your opinion on these articles, which you can then post automatically to your Facebook or LinkedIn after you copy and paste, right? And so this is the daily opportunity that everyone has to become very well versed in personal branding opportunity. And so this is how I know that AI works because I know that in the past I'm not posting anything to LinkedIn because I'm just too busy. There's work to be done. There's things to be done. There's errands and so forth. And if you felt that way, go ahead and raise your hand, right? Because maybe in this sense, you've had that experience before too. And what it's done and what it's done and how it's helped me is it's helped me save, 20 minutes per day on article sharing. Instead of reading an article, finding something that's interesting and attractive, and then coming up with thoughts and trying to sound original, I go ahead and I type in bullet points of what I think for my articles and so forth, and then that changes. And what that does is it takes 10 minutes to do versus maybe the 30 to 45 minutes that it would have taken before. I've also built a YouTube script to help me build out my YouTube channel because I want to be able to, not only know that folks for Albert's List to build videos, but I also want them to come to us for short takes on the state of the economy. So I used GitHub and I used Claude Code to build a YouTube script based on my voice, based on what YouTubers think in terms of what makes a great hook. And this saves me almost 2.5 hours per video script. And so if I'm launching 5 of those every month, that's about 12 and a half hours plus 20 minutes per day, which is maybe another 2 hours. That's 15 hours that I've gained back that I can just go ahead and shoot now, recite, and then rinse and repeat over and over again. And so these are things that I think are important for anyone to pick up at this juncture. And so I want to offer you what this opportunity looks like, right? There's two tools and no technical background when it comes to what you're able to do. And so how did I build those, right? I built them on Claude using a large language model, creating drafts, those scripts, and then I created the code that helped me build what I need. And then I go ahead and I execute it on GitHub. And GitHub is what I think a lot of coders these days use to build these types of platforms and build these types of tools that support the kind of technology that they have there. And so the first demo one, right, is a LinkedIn post writer. What I've created is I've created a tool where you're going to have to go ahead and download this code, but then you can run it through Claude and Claude can tell you what it needs, right? My input is my resume, it's what I do for work, it's a career story, and then it's a few pieces of articles and places that I like to go to help build my thought leadership. And then what it outputs is it goes ahead and it outputs articles of what I think and how I think through it. So I'm actually going to go ahead and unshare and show you what this tool looks like. So what we have here is I'm going to go ahead and share on Zoom. Let's see. This should take me there. Okay, so this is the SaaS Career Thought Leadership Agent that I had just mentioned. I'm going to go ahead and share this within the chat. And what I want to encourage all of you to do if you have a GitHub account is to go ahead and fork this particular project. If you don't know what it means to fork, I'm going to encourage you to go into your Claude or your ChatGPT instance. And basically what it means to copy it. And what you can do if you want is you can go in and click the code and you can download the zip file and bring it into your own LLM to figure out what it does. And so what does it do exactly? What it does is it runs every single day at 8 a.m. and it fetches new articles from a series of RSS feeds that I have. I click the link, and what I've built is a separate Streamlit web page that displays these articles. And what happens here is I type in my opinion, and then I go ahead and I can post my opinion. So for example, here today, I see an article here that says Morgan Stanley cut its riskiest reconciliation job in half by making its agents less autonomous. Let's say I don't really want to read this article and I have no idea what it's saying. I'm going to go ahead and click skip. And it's going to go ahead and take me to another article that I think may be more relevant to what I'm interested in learning about. And while it's there, I guess I'm going to say, okay, Gemini Spark, Google's agentic assistant, is now available on Mac. Perfect. Okay. And so what it's going to do, it's going to give me a summary that says, Google has expanded Gemini Spark. It's always on agentic AI assistant. It's going to give me it's going to give me a summary. And what I'm going to say is I'm going to go ahead with that summary and say, Google has changed the game again when it comes to agents. I am looking forward to using Gemini Spark. Um, Agents have been key to my productivity, uh, and I look forward to playing around with this over the July 4th holiday weekend. Okay, so I might in the past write a big paragraph, but instead now I'm going to literally type in bullets, and then Claude on the backend API is going to go ahead and generate these posts using that, and I'm going to get a LinkedIn post and a Facebook post here in a moment, right? So this builds it out, and it uses my writing and it uses my writing style to mimic what I have to say. And so if I really like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and copy it, and then I can go ahead and I can click on LinkedIn, right? And then I can go ahead and just, click start a post, go ahead and paste this here. Um, and then what I can do here is, because I want to read the full article, copy the link address, and paste it here, right? And obviously I still need to read what's been written, and I can go ahead and update it to say what I want it to say. and it's gonna end up helping me post, right? So we started this exercise barely 3 minutes ago. I know I kind of half-assed my way through what I was saying in the bullet points here, but if you have a lot of things to say, it's gonna end up translating it to, your LinkedIn or your Facebook, and then you can click on your Facebook. It'll go to your Facebook, and then you can move on with your day. Do you need a Claude paid account? You don't need a Claude paid account for this. What I would recommend is if you have any AI account is uh, copying the code inside of there and asking the code to understand like what's going on with it. Mine in particular, like if you go into the Python code, there are certain sections that need to be edited and updated. So, for example, inside, I think the daily article, let me see. Nope, this is not it. I don't read code, but what it does is it basically it fetches articles from a variety of different websites like CNBC and so forth. It generates the post, and then there's the link that posts to social media, and then I also put that code into a web page here that then comes out with it. So you can see how much more efficient this is in terms of its ability to really um, showcase what AI can do for you. Wow, right. Which AI agent tool scans through our email and calendar and alerts on priority emails that needs immediate attention? I think that would probably depend on the email that you have. If you have a Gmail account, I haven't tried this yet, but maybe Gemini can help you do that for you. So, um, good stuff there. Iqbal, welcome back. Yeah, I think maybe Gemini could probably help you with that. I haven't built anything with that yet, so I think that one really depends. So yeah. All right, cool. So that's the first one. The second agent that I've built over time is a video scripting agent. So I have this underneath an Albert's List commentary agent that coalesces my views with the state of the economy and so forth. And so what this does is it basically takes YouTube philosophies from leading YouTube folks who know what they're saying, and then it also takes articles that align with Albert's List. And then what it does is it creates a YouTube script that I can speak into every single day. There's a short script here with a hook, and then also goes ahead and gives you Facebook Reels, Instagram Reels, and so forth that helps you out with posting it to social. And so you can see how quickly that this is done. I believe this agent is currently private. What I'm going to go ahead and do actually is I'm going to go ahead and make this public so that if you're interested in making this for yourself, I'm going to go ahead and give it to all of you for the time being. I'm gonna go ahead and make it private later on. So fork it while you can. So let me go back to this. Is it still private? Okay, maybe it's still private. I don't know. Change visibility, change to public. I have read and understand. Make this repository public. Okay, so we'll send me that code via email. And then there we go. There we go. Okay, cool. So this should be a public agent now that you can take on. Go ahead and fork it. I'm going to make it private about a half an hour after this meeting ends. Um, can you explain in plain terms what is a hook and what it does? So a YouTube hook is basically how a YouTube video gets you to stay and read a little bit longer, right? So for example, in this case, right, there's a thing here on Oracle lost 62 billion this week. They're still hiring. So the hook is Oracle just had its worst stock week since the dot-com bust, down over 25%, 62 billion in market capitalization gone, right? So you might hear that and you might be like, "Oh, I got to listen to more of what this is saying because I'm really curious." And so that's what is considered a hook, right? And a lot of YouTube professionals talk about this at a certain level so that that's how they are able to get all the views that they can. Okay. Steve, clearly you spent time developing the last agent using various tools. For somebody who's only used ChatGPT a little for research but otherwise hasn't used GitHub or Claude, where should I start? What you're looking shows pretty complicated, shows pretty technical and complicated. So I would say when it comes to thinking about agents in general, and we are doing an agent-based webinar where I'm going to show you how to build an agent from scratch later this month, is I want you to think about tasks in your daily marketing life or even regular general life that are tasks that you do on a repeated basis, right? So for me, in this case, it might be I want to do a YouTube video every single day where I talk about the state of the economy. Or I want to do, I do research on the best, I don't know, let's just say the best cell phone case that I want to use. Send me an AI, send my AI agent is going to go out and look for those products and then deliver me a summary of the product price, the product type, why it's good, and where I can buy it. And so those are all, I think, just ways to think about that. The more repeated your, the more you repeat the work that you do, the more that an AI agent can do it. And then, of course, you'll have to um, you'll have to uh, uh, you'll have to refine it as you go along because as I go through here, right? Like I noticed that my commentary agent was making actually multiple articles, right? So if I look at this for a time, I was not just doing a 30 to 90 second script. I was also doing one that was 15 to 30 and then a full 4 to 6 minute script. And we know that long form videos on YouTube don't necessarily do that well. So I actually redid this script to just be 30 to 90 seconds and maybe 15 to 30. Because for me, it was all about being able to reduce the number of credits or tokens that I'm using in Claude as well. So those are just a few ideas here. I'm just going to go ahead and stop sharing and I'm going to go back to the presentation. Hopefully that answered some of your questions, Steve. Okay, so with that said, right, that's your LinkedIn post writer. I just gave you a demo. The YouTube script generator is another one where once again, right, you specify your topic depending on what you're really good at or what you're interested in talking about. Anything that you could talk about with 5 minutes. You upload your writing, you tell ChatGPT or you tell ChatGPT or Claude to create a Python workflow that will help you parse your thoughts and what's going on in the real world into an insightful script, which is step number two. And then you polish it and you record it throughout. So I'm going to go ahead and share this thought leadership agent. Feel free to fork it. I know I also had another agent up there as well before, which is the SaaS thought leadership agent. And I'm going to also encourage you guys to take that as well and fork it so that at least you walk away with two things that are something that you can do today to help you with your AI, right? So I just demoed the YouTube video one, and so I want you to take both of these free and available today, right? So, yeah, basically all you need is a ChatGPT account, the API key that's gonna probably charge you a little bit on every single run, and then you can go ahead and fork it, and then you can try it out this weekend and see how it'll work for you. All right, so we've solved text, and we know that text is something that AI can work really well with because literally everything before media is all about text. But what about scalability? What about media? What about workflows that can help you take you to the next level, right? I think one of the things that I've also been experimenting with as I've gone through this AI experience is I also want to build video and imagery. And so, one of the things that I think that you may have noticed by now, whether you're on TikTok or whether you're on Facebook, is that you've noticed that there are a lot of people who now have AI video based YouTube channels. And maybe you're thinking, oh gosh, we're really going there. We're about to use our own likeness for AI. And the answer to that is yes, we kind of are doing that. And so, why is that interesting, right? It's because AI also can bring this level of consistency now that, unlike the Will Smith videos of, 2022 when he was eating spaghetti crazily, AI can look very, very real. And I'm going to show you a demo of that here in a moment. And so, why is that important, right? Like, when you go from text to a system, what's going on is that when you're developing that level of AI, it's a different look. The banners, the images that you use, they're never updated, and visual identity is an afterthought. But visual identity is incredibly important because people also want to get to know who they know, like, and trust. And if any sense, right, like I would say that somebody could take video of me on this webinar after what I write, upload it on YouTube, and put it into an AI flow, and I could be talking about everything from quantum mechanics all the way out to, climate change, all the way out to how to fix a Ford Mustang. None of which I know how to do, but apparently, but AI can help you do that. And so with a system, not only can you create the text, you can also create avatars, AI avatars that you can generate on demand and update in minutes and, build that visual identity as a competitive advantage. And so what I'm offering today is a visual identity system that goes beyond the just AI text and the free items that I just shared, but also building custom comfy UI workflows. Comfy UI workflows these days are workflows that take images and take videos based on existing images and builds on top of them based on AI prompting. And so I've partnered with somebody that I met on Fiverr a long time ago, and he's a Bangladeshi-based AI developer who develops AI video and graphics work for content for businesses. And so I just want to show you a little bit again in terms of a demo what these things look like. So he's built a comfy UI workflow, and these workflows are incredibly complicated. And it got me thinking about what it means to build a personal brand today, because for a lot of folks, building a personal brand is also video. And so if you've ever worked in Comfy UI, you know that Comfy UI is incredibly, incredibly complicated. And so what we have here, right, is multiple different things, models, video settings, audio, things like that. And Jubaid here has built that over time with all of the things that he knows how to, and things that I don't have time to. And what I thought about was, when it comes to building a personal brand, it is important to know what the possibilities are. So, oh, thank you. Go ahead. Thank you, Greg, and thank you, Jerry. I appreciate that. And so, I've run this workflow already because I know these things can take a while. And what I want to just show you is like the assets that can come out of this. This is Jubaid on video speaking, and I don't know if you can hear it. Let me go ahead and
Find the right model.
let me go back.
But most AI videos look robotic, right? But when you combine the right model, the right low RA, and the right prompt, magic happens.
Right. So,
Most AI videos look.
So that's what can be created with AI. I'm not sure if any of you saw what I just shared there, right? Yeah, and so he sounds like a real person, right? And so I also did one of these a little ways back that I posted to my Facebook channel. Um, I think like if I go here and I go to my photos, or if I do, I have reels here, right? So. I went ahead and created one too. And so you can create these almost like one at a time or at scale where you can showcase your personal brand and what thoughts you have on things in your career. So this is what I built.
If the economy is supposedly doing so well, then why is credit card debt at an all-time high and job seeker sentiment bad? Something to think about.
Right? So this is created in Comfy UI. And so Um, I don't know if any of you are interested in something like this, then it offers an opportunity for you to also place your visual identity at scale as well. And so this is what Jubaid is offering. I've been working with him for a while. I trust him, and it's an opportunity to learn and see from there. So just kind of, reflecting upon this, right? This is personal branding today. It is where things have gone with AI. You can either create, text-based marketing where you have, the agents that I created earlier, or you can have more advanced videos that can also help you put what you want out there as well. Um, yeah. Wow, let me look at that, Rao. Yeah, so this is the type of videos that AI is now creating and can do that at an advanced level. And it's hard to tell between what's real and what's fake. But for those of us who are looking to actually do real things and want to be authentic, right? I think this is, somewhere to start. So. Yeah, I wanted to let me go ahead and unshare my screen and go back to the presentation. Um, that's what I wanted to share today with all of you as we look through personal branding and as we look through how to really stand out online as we go and get that next job. So, with that said, I'm open for any questions. I want to thank you again for your time on this Thursday before July 4th, or July 3rd now for you, Sarah, in Auckland, New Zealand. Any questions from folks who may have anything, or are you inspired perhaps to start the weekend and maybe look at doing into some AI agents yourself? Let me make sure there are no questions either. Oh yeah, AI training for school kids. Yeah, that's really great. Yeah, Ron, I'm glad that you were able to see that real eye opener there. And if you're interested in exploring this yourself, Jubaid can help you as well. Um, yeah. So I'm doing a workshop where I'm building a customizable version of this on let me see, later this month. So if you want to build an AI agent, I don't know, Chris, if you're here, Chris is doing a job hunt agent later this month on July 20th. So I'm going to go ahead and copy the link there. Um, and then I'm also helping folks build a fleet of AI agents that are practical for work. So you can check that out. Nana, I sent you an email about some of your other webinars, but haven't heard back. I think I responded to you, but if I haven't, send me an email to my Gmail account, Nana. I apologize for not responding to you. Yeah. Oh, nice. All right. Awesome, Iqbal. I'm glad to hear that you forked it. And yeah, please give me feedback. I'd love to hear your thoughts on how that all looks. How about promotional materials such as brochures and flyers? That could be a ChatGPT workflow. I would look into that and see how that works for you. Yes, email is the best way to get in contact with me. So yes. Natalie, so to recap, using AI to facilitate LinkedIn posts, knowing how to use Claude and GitHub for processes, and overall boosting visibility with video presence. Yeah, that's correct. So to recap, right, AI can help you save time and scale your personal brand presence on social media so that you can be noticed and seen by people who are looking perhaps for your insights or looking at you to see what you think about particular things. Uh, to do that, you can use AI agents like what you see like what you saw earlier. And so I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste one of these again, the commentary agent. And what you can do from there is you can also scale up by doing video related stuff. So what I was showing earlier with regards to Jubaid sounding almost like a real individual. And so if you're interested in getting your own workflow where you can use your own version, I encourage you to check out Jubaid on Fiverr. Very affordable. Harsha, yes, you will receive a recording of today's session. I will send that after this webinar concludes. Yeah. Uh, I will not cover AI tools for web page development at my webinar, Rao. But if that's something you're interested in, then I can definitely do that in the future as something to show people what they can launch. Greg, yes, Greg, actually share your chat to everyone versus just host and panelists. Thank you, Harsha. Andreas, I've written a book about AI and how to use it more effectively, mostly targeting noobs like myself. Could it be interesting for you to look at it? Yeah, send me an email, Andreas. I'd love to at least scan it. Steve, thank you. Very interesting, but not really sure where to start other than brainstorming. Would the 720 workshop be appropriate for a novice or too advanced? Um, Chris, are you still here? Oh no, Chris is not here. I would say it's medium. But we also send you a lot of pre-workshop work as well. And so that should be enough to help you through. We really do try to handhold as much as we possibly can. Greg, cool, awesome. Reach out to Greg if you need any help as well. Yeah. All right, cool. Any other remaining questions? I'm going to go ahead and end the poll here. Let's see what everyone was like today, right? So 14% of you haven't touched any AI tools yet. 57% know a thing or two. 26% are experienced. And one of you develops AI solutions. I love it. Okay, so Elise, not sure I'm completely able to wrap my head around the scope of how to do this on my own. This is way outside my wheelhouse right now, understanding objective, but the process is big for an AI neophyte like myself. Well, at least you know how to reach me. You and I have spoken before. You've been to my boot camps. If the July 27th session might be of interest to you, I would be happy to have you there. So, feel free to talk to me and we can go more there. Thank you, Alex. I appreciate you spending your time today. All right. So with that said, I want to thank you all for your time. I know we're 45 minutes past the top of the hour, and we'll definitely be running this webinar again and going from there. Are there both 720 and 7? Yep, 720, we're talking about building an AI career job search agent. And then for the 27th, I'm going to actually help you build the commentary agent from scratch, as well as well as how to build the LinkedIn brand posting agent. So you can technically work with it this weekend, or I can help you walk through it as well. So either way, you can get opportunities and the opportunity to work at it before the end of the month. Okay. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and stop sharing my screen. And yeah, we'll get you through. Bev, you have a question about how to pay for it and so forth. I'm happy to chat with you about that offline. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much. Happy 4th. Declare your independence from wherever you may be that you want to be independent from, and may the 4th of July be with you. I love that. All right. Chat with you all soon. Bye.